Welcome back to Wild Hearts. In this video, I want to talk to you about 3 different things that could ruin your game. Starting off, the main monsters that you are going to be fighting are known as Giant Kemono. And if we take a look at one of my bases, we have a campfire. And when I warm myself, I decide what to hunt next. If we take a look, you get the different Giant Kemonos to choose from on this map screen. And when you start a hunt by using this map, by using a campfire, at the end of a fight, it's going to give you a 30-second timer until the game returns you to your camp. During a fight, you can remove parts of a Giant Kemono. For an example, the Sap Scourge, you can actually knock its horns off, and you can also knock part of its beard off, and you can pick those things up. So make sure when you are fighting the Giant Kemono, you are looking for the green glowing bits of loot on the floor, because those will be parts of the Giant Kemono. And say for an example the Sap Scourge drops a beard and you are 1 away from doing some sort of a gear upgrade, you're going to have to do that hunt all over again. So it's going to save you a lot of time to just look around in that 30 seconds in the area you are in and pick up all the pieces that you may have knocked off the Giant Kemono. And it's not only at the end of the fight, as you're fighting them before they're flee into different areas, you can also knock the parts off there. So basically throughout the entire fight, make sure you're looking for the green glowing loot, because that will be parts of the kimono itself. It's just way more important to do it at the end, because you only get 30 seconds to grab all the loot before you are automatically teleported back to your camp. Next up, and I'm going to say this is the most important one. In the game, you can see all these different icons on the screen. These ones right here are dragon pits. These are basically areas where you can build up your base. If you want to fast travel in this game, you can see 2 tent icons on the map. These are hunters' tents that are used for fast traveling. In order to place these tents down, you need resources. And these resources are very, very limited. If we hover over, let's say this one for an example, you'll see the different resources there, and the one at the bottom that looks like a rock, I believe that's earth. I only have 45 of it. You can't just go out and obtain these resources, you can't just let them build up over time. If I wanted to place a hunter's tent, another one, inside the tree camp, then it would only cost me 40, but every other dragon pit I've come across is going to cost me 50 earth. You can only get these resources by leveling up the different dragon pits. So if we have a look, when I level this up, if I obtain the first level, I get an extra, my water goes up to 30 from 20, and wind goes from 120 to 130. And as you do more upgrades, these things change. You get more resources. But there are certain dragon pits that give you different resources. So even if I was to get this specific dragon pit up to its max level, I still can't place down a hunter's tent. And the thing is, when you're fighting Giant Kemono, they are going to flee the area once you've dealt a decent amount of damage to them. And there's 3 or 4 different areas they go to before you get the final blow. I had a fight where what are they called? King Tusk, the massive boar, it led me all the way over here. And my fast travel tents are on the complete opposite side of the region. So when the King Tusk killed me, it took me all the way back here, because you can only revive when you die in a fight back at one of your hunter's tents. So if you're coming into this game and you build a hunter's tent here, then you go down to this dragon pit and build one there, you're wasting all of that, all of those resources. They're just completely gone to waste, because you could eventually have a fight that's all the way up here, and you could die to that Giant Kemono. You're going to have to respawn down here and travel all the way back up on foot, back up to this area. So make sure you're saving your resources by leveling up the dragon pits, and spread your hunter's tents out. If you look at the greyed out dragon pits, they're ones you haven't explored to yet. The red ones are ones that you don't have the materials required to upgrade them. And then these orangey ones with white tips, they are ones that you actually have the materials available right now to upgrade. And not only that, you don't need to visit them to upgrade them. You can do it straight from the map screen itself. And then last but definitely not least, when you are placing hunting towers, that's exactly what this building thing is, activate it and check its range on the map. Then place others in an area where you're not wasting too much land. So if we go to the map on its own without activating a hunting tower, you can see where I've placed them. I've got one over here. I've got one down here where I am. Then I have another one up here. You can just about see it. Oh, you can see it perfectly as I zoom in. If I back out of this map and I activate this tower, it's going to search for Kemono. And then when it does its thing where it's got the glow coming off it, you can kind of see that thing pulsing. If I then go to the map, you're going to see these circles. These are the range or the radius of how far the hunting towers can search for Kemono and find them. So you'll see over here, we've got a Rage Tail over here. And then over in the middle, we've got a Sap Scourge. If I had wasted materials and placed the hunting tower down here, where I've got one, and then I placed one up here, and then I placed one down here, I'm not going to cover any of this part of the region in terms of finding Kemonos to take down and get their materials. So you can see exactly where I've placed mine. I'm going to say that's a pretty good placement. The only spot they can really be in where I can't see them is up here. If they are anywhere within these circles, they're going to pop up when I activate a hunting tower, and I can go and hunt them down for their materials. So that was some Wild Hearts tips and tricks to save you potentially ruining your game by placing things too close together, and also by missing out on really valuable materials that drop off the Giant Kemono. What we're going to do is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about Wild Hearts in the comments, and check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.